Standards-based grading is a topic that I've been researching and studying for a few years now, and it has completely changed the way that I look at curriculum, what it is I'm teaching, but it's also changed the way that I look at instruction and assessing. You see, let's think about what a grade really means. When a student brings home a B in reading, does that mean that he's very proficient at reading, but he doesn't understand main idea and supporting details? Or does he get character, plot, and setting, but doesn't know author's purpose? You know, when I think about my own grandchild, Charlie, who's a year and a half, I think that I want Charlie to have a report card that really tells his parents what he's strong in and what he needs additional help in. And that's what standards-based grading does. One of the issues that I have found that maybe many of you feel is that we have too many standards to teach per content area. And I just read a really interesting statistic this week. In order to cover all of the standards within a year, you would need 1,189 hours of teaching time. Yet we have about 695 hours. That's a difference of 494 hours in a school year. Think about what that means when you stretch that K through 12. And so we have too much to teach, and we can plow through it and cover all of those standards, but are the kids really absorbing them? And is that what's really best for our students? Because I want my students to walk away and really know and understand in a very deep way these priority concepts. And so what I've learned to do is to prioritize my standards. Which ones are the most relevant that my kids have to walk away and know by the end of the school year? And what else I discovered with standards-based grading is the 100-point scale is completely flawed. If you think about it, you have 60 points that are reserved for the F, and you have 8 or 10 that are reserved for the A. It's not an equally proportionate scale. And not only that, but as educators, we weigh items differently on a test. When I go to give a test and the neighboring teacher would go to give a test and we'd give the exact same test, we would each decide how many points each section is worth, and we would have valid reasons for why we chose those points, yet the grades would be completely flawed because what she thought was important and what I thought were important were two totally different things. With standards-based grading, I will admit, you do some heavy lifting with it, and it is difficult work. But when you see that when you prioritize your standards and you create scales to grade with, Robert Marzano says that there is a 32 percentile gain in student achievement when we use scales to grade rather than points. That's a statistic I can't ignore. And so when we do standards-based grading, you leave this training with exactly how to roll this out in your school district or in your classroom. I've been rolling it out with school districts. I do feel like I have this plan down pat, and so I walk you through the practical steps of implementing this piece by piece.